guess I've always been like into creativity, and when I discovered what art was when I was, I guess, 15 or something, by reading the Marcel Duchamp writings, and I just find it by chance in a library, in a bookshop, and I knew only the urinoir, the rubber nut thing, just by name. And I always been very curious about everything. So I was like curious to know more about this guy, and I read it like a novel, and was like very interested by it. And from this I discovered all the history of art, and from the reverse ready-made, when you use a Rembrandt to make a iron table, and different stuff, because at the end of the book he wrote about every artist of his generations, all the modern artists, and he just wrote a little paragraph in a few sentences about everybody around, like Picasso, Miro, Léger, everybody. And so yeah, I guess that at this time I understood that I didn't want to be a designer or an architect or whatever. I just want to be an artist. I don't know, it grows there today. It's still growing. So I know it's just part of it's just part of yourself. So you can't really. It's not that's really a decision you do. Sometimes I want to be something else. Sometimes I feel like, oh, this is what actually is we call art, this marketing thing. So I was like, I try to work full time in the studio, and that's the challenge now. I do prefer to share the pleasure of it, and the adventure of it with the viewer. Sometimes it's hard, but it's maybe not the part I want to share. And so I like when the work looks like mostly easy to do, and try to maybe allow the viewer, or just incitate the viewer to do something, to make something maybe. And this is I guess the best feedback I can find sometimes about my work. People just tell me, oh, that makes me want to work, and this is, I guess, the best compliment I can find. Because I come from Marcel Duchamp, I really want the work very open for the viewers, and so there's no right interpretation of it. You need, and the best one is the one you can make by yourself. If you have a relationship from yourself to the artwork, like you can face it and can have a kind of conversation as you can have with someone, and keep on going on with it, just not one, and after you leave the room and that's it. No, it's something you can still discuss with. Yeah, I think that's the way when it is successful. I think that's a success. Invention of process or constraints is really part of the work, because I think the work is about also try to find boundaries, to get rid of them and find a kind of freedom, because I don't believe in freedom really. Freedom is just something that you're more aware each time of your boundaries. This is the freedom quest, I think, because when I change processes all the time, maybe just to not keep in a habit, and just to be always surprised by the work and the manipulation and what happening. That's why I think I'm mostly a painter in the sense that painting teach me so much about the specific attention you can have to the moment itself, and to the adventure of painting, just what is happening now. And so you're not like projecting something. You don't have any idea of the result itself. You're just like discovering it by making it. And yeah, this is the dynamic I like. This work I draw with tape. Yes. So I start drawing just like using the tape as a pencil, and so and after I just use like spray can to paint. So this one is just on a blank paper, but I did a whole series on magazines. So there's a mix between the picture underneath and the painting. So you discover the magazine at the end, removing the tape. It's kind of strange, you can be very painterly, you see, huh? With just spray cans and the almost like very bad spray cans, so just like, they look like very hard to control, but at the same time, you can deal with it. I started to work for a magazine like 15 years ago, and I didn't use them for a while, and before moving to New York, I went back to them in Paris, and I cut them in every. I made a lot of different variations, and my wall there in the studio and the apartment were full of magazines, and a piece of magazine everywhere on the floor. Was like, that's kind of crazy at this time, and yeah. And this process, like this one, just to make to mix a picture without any exogenous stuff, just by a very simple upside down reverse thing. Arrived the first week I arrived in New York, and when you just start from the cutouts and go to paintings. From the painting itself, you discover new paths, new tracks that you can follow to make something else, and some kind of ping pong game, just like something making another one, another one, another one. It's like you don't see any end of it, which is so exciting about it. It's very different, isn't it? Yeah, these are drawings I made out of stamp prints. I do my own stamps. I cut them into some kind of rubber, and I use only one stamp at a time. One stamp by drawing. These drawings come from this stamp, and you can even see the stamp. For this one, is kind of you can see one version of the old stamp. So I just use stamp like a very mechanical process, but at the same time you can do so many variations just by different inclination you can use, and different kind of pressure, and you can become so free with such a mechanical process, which I like so much. So I have like a big constraint to get something else, as I said before, and it's like. So there's like 100 of them. There's something strange about New York, that you can see so many things each week, so many new things. New things. So yeah, some you can see like basically like maybe between 20 and 30 new shows a week, and so you keep on seeing stuff, not always good, but you're always like very excited about everything. And so that's something I think yes, this can change your work. Yes, you can be part. This is like it's still part of your education at some level,